first live stream I've ever done, so I can read the comments or whatever. Why is it not showing that I'm live? I have no idea. Right, we'll let that do that. I'm studying the Cisco Devnet, so that's what I'm going to be doing. What is... Why is it I can't see my live stream? Why can I not see the live stream? This is why I don't do lives, because... Oh, here we go. Right. I can see myself. Hey, this is sick. First live stream for 2026 and first live stream for ever. Right. I wonder if I actually go into my YouTube, sign in as me, if that will give me any better privileges. No, but I've got someone in my live stream, which is great. So, how's this guy? I think I'm in your first live stream ever. Yeah, you are actually in my first live stream ever. And basically what we're going to be doing is studying Cisco Devnet. So, really, I only want to be doing no more than an hour on this. And I've chosen tonight to focus on Docker. But also just do it live. Just basically have a bit of a live stream. Let's get the camera a little bit better positioned. I think that's better. But yeah, thanks for commenting on the live stream. I appreciate it. So my aim is Docker. I know what Docker is. It's in the Cisco Devnet exam, but I found that I'm missing some knowledge when it comes to practice exams. So what is Docker? Let's have a look. Okay. Let's actually go to wait, it's not actually that I'm learning Docker, it's that I'm learning containers. Or is it the same thing? Maybe I've just confused myself a little bit. Right. Where's my old friend ChatGPT? So I have got the premium ChatGPT, and I have some specific ones for like work, some specific ones for learning Linux, some specific GPTs for Cisco certifications. So I feed each one a lot of files, a lot of information. So every time I'm having a conversation with an individual GPT in my ChatGPT account, it's a very relevant conversation. It already knows the subject that I'm going to be asking it about. Can you just teach us everything you know in about 30 seconds so we can all be on the same page? Mate, trust me, there's people out there that know a lot more than me. I'm just, like I said, I fell behind with this Cisco Devnet stuff, so I'm just basically trying to get up to speed with it. So I'm going to be using AI for this actually, and I'm going to give it some prompts. So I want to increase my knowledge on Docker for the Sam, can you give me some easy to follow information on Docker? Oh, nice. Thanks for commenting on my CCNA video. This is the first time that I've actually done a live. So I did try and do one before with like everything set up on my camera, but like it was lagging, and but I just thought it's Friday night. I need to do this. Maybe doing it like this, like a bit of a conversation, is not going to make it suck. I think if you use ChatGPT would be more productive. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So there is some YouTube videos that I want to watch, but I'm not sure about streaming the YouTube other people's YouTube videos on my YouTube live. So Docker. This is what ChatGPT is saying Docker is. Now I know what Docker is. It's saying Docker is a platform that allows you to package applications. Basically, when I think of Docker, it's sort of like the evolution of virtual machines. Now, if we know what a virtual machine is, you've got your server, your PC, and if it's a type 1 hypervisor, the entire machine is dedicated to running like virtual machines. If it's a type 2 hypervisor, then it's perhaps a normal PC with a hypervisor on top of it. Some popular ones are VMware or Hyper-V, and then that software allows you to run different virtual machines that share the computer's resources, and you can turn those machines off, you can shut down the hypervisor, and then it goes back to being a normal PC again. But that can really slow a computer down, that can really slow a machine down. So Docker is, what I see, a really, really, really lightweight, better virtual machine. And it encapsulates the operating system of your normal machine, and it creates an environment, and it isolates it. And then you can create another one, and then you can create another one. And then you can also pass these containers to other people, developers, and you're using the same container. So they're a bit weird, but they've been around a while now. It's just that I've not had anything to do with them, and I had some questions on my mock exam for Devnet and was just failing. So I thought I'd go back to Docker and relearn. Let me look at some more comments. I just posted this comment on your CCNA video. How much of a difference is passing CCNA compared to CCST, and can you estimate how many hours additional studying you had to do after you got the CCST to pass CCNA? So I'm always been pushing in all of my videos that to do the CCNA, you should do the CCST first. Do not see it as something that's going to slow your CCNA journey. It will accelerate it, and you will gain another certification whilst getting your CCNA. The big thing about the CCST, it introduces you to subnetting, so you do not freak out about it when you're doing your CCNA. Basic concepts of switching and routing and OSI model. If you have that under your belt before doing and then take on the CCNA, you are so well equipped. Promise you that. Yeah, I think it's the chosen path. In terms of specifically how much of a difference is passing CCNA compared to CCST, passing CCNA is like fucking God. You feel amazing. Passing CCST is exciting because you're on your way to passing CCNA after the CCST. How many additional hours studying after you had the CCST? 4 months, I would say. I would say the networking knowledge for CCST is about 20% of what you need for the whole CCNA. Yeah, I'd go along with something like that. definitely. Container Docker. Container Docker is a container, right? So um, Docker is a platform basically that allows you to have containers. Do I have to do automation at my new job? Yes, I do. I am heavily involved in Ansible. So, in terms of doing network health checks, then in terms of doing tests on network devices, they are all stored in Ansible playbooks. And you run the Ansible playbook with I mean, it takes a lot of time to write the playbooks. I've not written them; they're already all written. I literally will just type in the commands, and it will execute those playbooks on whatever target I'm giving it, and yeah, it will carry out what is in that playbook. So yes, automation is involved. I own my own ISP in Bathurst, so would work for myself, being a network engineer, but deal with my Microtik. Found your channel while researching some Cisco things. Oh, so you're not even that far away from me, to be honest with you. If my geography's right, Bathurst, I don't know, I might be a little bit off, but um, I love connecting with people who are, you know, in this region of the world. So um, James, James, if you, in fact, you should connect with me on LinkedIn. Actually, I would love to connect with you. You sound like you've got a lot of experience and knowledge. I like to connect with people like that. Why did I choose to go for the DevNet cert? I chose to go for the DevNet cert because I saw that the DevNet had the foundational building blocks of network automation, and I see that's going to be a big part of our lives, even for roles where you aren't an automation engineer. Scripting, it's it's creeping in everywhere, guys. Like Python, and when don't get me wrong, like I do not on the Python on the DevNet syllabus, you do not really type Python scripts from scratch. No one's doing that anymore. No one's doing that. It's all AI written. But the DevNet course gets you involved with the software. You understand how to use AI to produce the right scripts. You need to know the fundamentals of Python and things like that, so you can um, you know what to look for in terms of errors. You know how to change things, how to um, make things smoother. Just knowing what's available at your disposal as well. If things aren't going right. So it's not just like, oh, AI does everything. AI gets stuff wrong, and you need to be on top of your game. So the reason why I chose DevNet is just because I think a lot of that stuff is coming into normal network engineer roles, really. Um, I'm enjoying doing the questions more than the bloody revision. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Right, so Docker revision notes. It's only going to be a lightweight page of notes. I've already done some questions. I've been watching a lot of Network Chuck as well. He's got some really good basic videos just to refresh my mind. Um, oh, James, thank you. How did you choose? Are you considering going for CCMP? Yes, I am considering going for CCMP. However, there's a few real specific things that I want to do this year. I think I will achieve CCMP by the end of the year, or the core exam. but there's some specific areas that I want to get some certifications in. Not to chase certifications, but just because doing a certification forces you to learn a lot about something. Um, I want to do something with Ansible. I want to do something with wireless uh, devices or wireless technologies, RF, because I have RF in my job. Linux as well. I might do a Linux cert. So just things to increase my knowledge really, and then something sizable like the CCNP. Um, Still undecided though on which exact certifications to go for. 2 to 3 hours west. I knew it was because I've actually been there, but I didn't want to say it because if you had turned around and said, "Oh, it's like 19 hours away," I'd been like, "Oh yeah, maybe I haven't been there in the car." But yeah, I went there in the car. Beautiful place. 15 days left till CCNA exam, and Boson is crushing me. Yeah, I have got tips for you. It's good that you're finding it hard. Keep doing the Boson exams. Simulate them as if they are the real exams. And I would say do an exam, look at your score. Immediately after that exam, write down with a piece of pen and paper what you felt went well, what you need to work on. Go away, repeat, go away, repeat. Keep doing that. Really keep doing that. There is a bit of an element of brute force here when you're at a certain point before the CCNA exam, but you've got your exam coming up. You've got 15 days, which is loads of time. Don't be wasting that time though. Make sure you're over that exam. And look, don't fail. If you do fail, rebook the exam immediately for the next available time. Yeah, the RHCSA, which Red Hat, what is it? Red Hat something administrator. I've not even looked at what is like on that course. I don't. Uh, the Red Hat administrator course. I'd like to do it. I think I know a decent amount of Linux, and I know what's going to happen. I'll start that course, and I'd be like, I know nothing about Linux. Often used CIDs, supports microservice architecture. Key Docker concepts made simple. Image is a snapshot template. Container is running instance of an image. Docker file, a script with instructions to build the image. Docker Hub. Yeah, so you can go to Docker Hub. You can download an image and create a container with it. I'll show you what I mean about the VM, the virtual machine, the difference, what I believe the difference between VM and containers. So I'm going to draw for you the standard, I'm going to draw the standard VM in my notebook, the standard sort of virtual machine world as I see it. So we have our, I'm going to call this our PC on the bottom. Okay, so so this is our PC, yeah. And what we're going to do, we're going to put on top of this install a piece of software called a hypervisor, and that's just going to sit there. And we're going to call this hypervisor Hyper V, or it could be VMware or VirtualBox, whatever. But this is a PC, it acts as a PC, and on top we are installing a piece of software like we install any other normal software called a hypervisor. And then this is going to allow us to run virtual machines. So we could have 3 virtual machines. Now for each of those virtual machines, we have to download the operating system, so Windows, Linux, and these virtual machines are going to be sharing this PC's resources. So that's the virtual machine side of things. Now, the Docker side of things is we have a PC like that, and we install Docker, or a platform that allows us to create containers. And let's just say like this PC is running on Linux, and we can create containers, and these containers take a snapshot of what I believe this is how they work. They can take a snapshot of the operating system to work. So here you could have 3 separate Linux containers. One could be running a website, one could be running, I don't know, a server, one could be running something. But also, they're completely separate, and we can collaborate with other people. That's kind of how I'm understanding containers and VMs. But yeah. See ya. Another thing that I was getting wrong, which is really stupid for the Devnet exam, really simple stuff. HTTP codes. So, you know, you've been on your PC before, you type something into the address bar, you get 401, 403, 404, 501, 503. They all mean something. They're like, you know, authorization, might be something on the server side of things, that what you're typing in is not being found, doesn't exist anymore, it's been moved. You've got to learn the codes for HTTP, and after the Christmas break, I kind of forgot them all. But anyway, Docker revision notes. What else is other people saying? Inexpert is a wireless network, but I built myself from scratch. I built all the towers and installed all customers. So if you have any real world wireless questions, let me know. Wireless is actually really like getting my attention now. I really want to get more knowledge with wireless, definitely. I'm working in the LP1 space at the minute, like in the IoT space, so very low frequency devices transmitting data. Nothing bad in chasing certifications. I think it's the best way to keep learning and level up in working in IT. You do things the right way. Yeah, man, I think that there's nothing wrong with it as well. It depends how you are as a person. Some people know a shit ton about IT and they haven't got any certifications. And it's wrong to sometimes think that, oh, well, I've got all these certifications, I'm actually better than this person. It's not always the case, is it? But if you're like me and you need a bit of structure in your life, something to hold yourself accountable to, certifications is a great way to do it. Right, so a simple Python script in Docker. Let's say you have a Python script called hello. Create a Docker file, use a Python image, copy the script into it, run the script, I think I've got my home lab here as well. I've not been on this for ages. Oh shit, what's my username? Boom. Look at that for a home lab. How amazing is that? So this is my home lab on EvenG, and it's actually well, it's got a route to the internet. This is my internet service provider. So if we go in the terminal, so we can ping that. I've not been on my home lab for ages. Let's see. Enable show IP. One 192.168.13.2. What's this one? Enable show IP interface brief 10.0.0.10. What? Okay, must have been had my finger on the key. What was that? Ping 10.0.0.10. So I'm pinging a router from my MacBook. So I'm pinging from my MacBook through my home router to this router here. Terminal. There we go. So that's the home lab. Now this is EvenG. This home lab's EvenG. I'm actually going to be I actually want to give Cisco Modeling Labs a go in terms of a home virtual lab environment, because the reason why I've got EvenG, I was doing the Cisco Devnet like we've been talking about, and in terms of automation, this is quite good for automation. It's hard to set up, really hard. I can't go into it now, but it's so fiddly to set up. Cisco Modeling Labs looks a little bit easier. I've bought the licensing, so I've got all the device images, which is great. What my next thing needs to be is go and get like an old server and to host all this stuff on, because at the minute I've just got some old mini PC that I got given from a job, but it's doing the job for me. What's everyone saying? I remember when I was studying, so Hamid, I remember when I was studying CCNA, I took notes in a Word file. I can copy some explanation from ChatGPT or some picture to remember topics. Help me a lot. Yeah, man, if you're not using AI to study, you're going to fall behind. Whoop, that was weird. Right, Docker. Yeah, so you start building with Docker, you download Docker. Right, I'm going to ask some practice questions now. Ask me 10 practice multi-choice questions on Docker/containers related to the Devnet exam. Now I have got BOS on, but I can't be doing BOS on video in it because it's paid. Well, why are you giving me the correct answer? Don't give me the answer until Okay, right. Which command is used to create and start a Docker container from an image? Used to create and start. Create and start. I think it's Docker run, isn't it? Docker run D. Boom. So Docker run. And we're trusting ChatGPT here. Docker run equals create / run Docker image. Hello, volume low, sir. Right. You're gonna have to give me a. Can we hear that now? I don't know. Are we loud? Are we loud? Are we there? Can you hear me? Are we there? Can you hear me? Right. I'll talk a little bit louder because you don't seem to be hearing me that well. But what is the purpose of a Docker file? The purpose of a Docker file is to I think it's C. Oh, it's hard. It's only hard because I'm fucking knackered. I haven't done this for ages. Where the hell is my mouse? Right, we'll just go C. Boom. Correct. A Docker file is a script that contains instructions for building a Docker image. It's simple, really. It's just, you just second guess yourself. So, just going to make some little notes here. And then what I usually do after any session is just spend 5 minutes just looking at my notes. Docker file. And it sounds simple, but these are questions that you will get asked. Script. Instructions. Oh, good. I'm glad you all can hear me. If you've just joined, I'm literally just doing some AI questions. Well, AI's throwing some questions at me in preparation for the Cisco Devnet exam. I'm quite tired. It's Friday night, but you know what? We've got to do it, haven't we? Right. Which Docker command will list all the downloaded images on your system? Docker PS. Surely it's Docker PS -A. No shit. What? Docker images. We'll just PS lists all. So Docker. Oh shit. Yeah. Docker -PS lists all the running containers. Docker images shows all the downloaded images on your system. Right, okay. Question 4, you need to persist configuration files. You need to persist configuration files created by a container. Which Docker feature should you use? You need to persist. I don't understand. Someone said something in here about that. Ports, network, volume. I'm just going to do A for ports. You're not supposed to see the answers, but bollocks, it's wrong. Volumes are used to persist data generated by used containers. Okay, I'm not really that all over that to be honest with you. Right. What is the default network driver assigned to a Docker container if none is specified? What's the default network driver? A default network driver assigned to a Docker container. Is it A, host? Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, this is terrible. I'm actually shit. When you start a container without specifying a network, Docker uses the bridge driver by default. This creates a private internal network on the host that allows containers to communicate, and you can map ports to access them from outside. The host network, which is what I chose, shares the host's network stack directly. Okay, right. More revision needed. Which of the following best describes a Docker image? I'm going to say it's a lightweight snapshot used to create containers. Oh, okay. So in terms of for people asking about where am I supposed to get all this information from, the learning material that I used for all my certifications has been CBT Nuggets. So that is a paid learning resource, and the guys who write the courses for CBT Nuggets are like, you probably know that they're obviously well known within the industry, and they simply look at the syllabus for the Devnet exam or the CCNA exam and just put a course together. You pay a monthly subscription. They're a big company, quite famous in IT world. But yeah, I pay for CBT Nuggets, so that's how I know how to get most of all my information. I've gone through the DevNet syllabus on CBT Nuggets. Now I'm just at the point where I'm just doing little quizzes and practice exams, just getting ready for the actual exam. These are all my notes for the DevNet exam. So I do this for every certification. We've got Ansible there, containers, Python scripts. One thing you learn in this exam is the different types of networking that Cisco offers. So things like Meraki, SD-WAN, Cisco Catalyst, and how they work. And it's kind of all the same, but they are just aimed at different types of networking. Some are enterprise, some are data centers, some are small businesses. So you just need to learn about that, and you get asked about it in the exam. Dark mode. How can I do dark mode on there? Dark mode. Oh, it's a bit dark. You can see all the shit on my screen. Wait. By the way, if you like this lamp, this is a USB lamp. I think it cost me like $20, but check out the colours. Excuse me, guys, I've got a really bad cough. Jesus. Excuse me. Right. God, I must be going down with the flu. Which file would you edit to define the environment variables, working directories, and startup command for a Docker image? Which file would you edit to define the environment variables? The Docker file? Boom! Oh, so this is a question that I keep getting asked about that I keep failing. So you want to expose a port 80 from your container to port 80 on the host. Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh. I feel rough. Anyway, which command is correct? So I'm just going to say this one. Docker expose 80. Sometimes you just got to look at the other answers and know it's not them. Bollocks, it's wrong. Docker run -p 80. Excuse me, guys. I need to change the lemon water to whiskey. Yeah, you're right, I do. Whiskey and lemsip. Oh, I'm just not getting this right. Question 9. In the Devnet context, why might Docker be used in a CI/CD pipeline? For me, the only thing that sticks out here in the answers is C, which says to run an isolated test for code automation. Because Docker is about containerization, isolation. So it's got the word isolation in. So I'm going for C. It's got to be right. Yes, it's right. Boom. Maybe I should do that. Is that better? Question 10. Which command will stop a running container named web_app? Docker stop web apps. Kill is more for killing a process, so I'm going to say, or is it kill? Because it's more Linux based, isn't it? Oh shit. Docker stop. It's actually saying the name stop, so I'm going to say stop. If it's not D, it's C. Boom. Just go with your gut. Seven out of 10. 7 out of 10 we got on that. Not great, but right. A lot of drag and drop questions in the DevNet exam, so I'm going to ask it to just give me some information on the drag and drop process because when you want to create a container, it's literally only a few commands So in the exam, in the practice exams that I've been doing, they're saying like, right, drag the commands in order. So as it's only a few commands to create a start it from the situation where you have downloaded a Docker image. Docker run name. Okay. So that's one thing that it kept asking me about dragging and dropping files into the right order of putting you in the situation of you've downloaded a Docker file. Show me the commands that you would use to run a container from that Docker file. So here we are. Docker pull and the name of the file. Then this tricky one, which is Docker run dash dash the name of the file. No, dash dash name of the file. Then there's a dash D and a dash P. It sounds crazy, but and then 8080 dash 80. I'm actually going to ask it, why do we need to map these ports? I don't really understand. Why do we need to map this? When you run a container using a command like docker run, you're telling Docker to map. Ah, I get it. So you create a container and then you map its ports to your host ports on your PC so that you can access it. Another thing on CCNA, if anyone is still listening, know your ports. So port 80, port 443, what is SSH, which is port 22, Telnet, for FTP, SFTP, DNS. Well, I've kind of had enough now. Yeah, if you want to use AI for exam stuff, like Hamid's saying, where you can basically get ChatGPT to give you a full mock exam, you can do that, and it's a really good way to get to get. Be aware though, I have caught this out on a few occasions in the past. It seems to be getting better now because it's on. I don't know why this is on version 4.0 because 5.2 is the new chat GPT. So why the fuck is this one on 4.0? Anyway, I think it's getting better, but in the past, like in 2024, which is crazy, seems long ago, I was catching that chat GPT was making mistakes in my revision, so just be aware of that. Um, but yeah, it's a good tool. Guys, this is the end of my live. I want to say thanks for anyone that's commented, and I probably am going to do some more, but probably a bit more thought out. I just wanted to just flick the camera on and do a bit whilst I was doing some revision. We've done like 20 questions. We've written a little bit about Docker. We've had loads of conversations. I've not done as much as what I should have done, but you know what? It's 10 o'clock at night. I keep coughing and I feel a bit tired. So I will see you on my next video. It's going to be a good one. See you later.